Assalamualaikum and good evening to all my fellow audience. My name is Aleisha binti Swaibon. I am from class MC1101A. I hope you're feeling just fine today. And I will be delivering a speech entitled Pros and Cons of Online Distance Learning. So the word ODL can make others feel sad or happy in some way because we students are currently learning from home, right? For me myself, I would definitely say the word ODL is brought up because before embarking on a new journey to go to university, ODL sounds fine to me as I was not ready to leave my family and my comfortable home. So yeah, I thought it would be easy, but as time passed by and I'm currently finishing my first semester, oh boy, ODL is really challenging and hard for me. And yes, that is why today I would love to share with you guys the pros and cons of online distance learning that most of the students have to go through right now. So going on to my first main point, why do students nowadays have to go through online distance learning? So ODL started here in Malaysia because of the pandemic of COVID-19, which caused the Ministry of Education to implement online distance learning to avoid the spreading of the virus among the students, lecturers, teachers, and others. And it is also because of the implemented rules of the MCO, which is Movement Control Order, which caused all Malaysians to just stay at home, work from home, and yes, study from home. At first, some might think this is such a great idea because they won't have the possibility to get infected by the virus, which is definitely true. But when everything started to just happen at home or get done at home, it gets really hard, especially for us students. I know you might have heard the phrases of there might be something good and something bad, right? Which we can see through ODL because my second main point, I will be sharing with you guys the pros of online distance learning. First advantage of ODL would be it can be done anywhere. It allows students to participate in high quality learning situation when distance and schedule make on-ground learning or physical learning difficult or impossible. Students and lecturers can access the virtual classroom through their computers instead of having to go to class physically, which in this case can help to avoid the spreading of COVID-19. Secondly, student-centered. Within an online discussion, students respond to the course material, either the lecture or the course book, subject or topic, and they get comments from other students. Third advantages would be access to resources. Today's students can easily have access to resources and materials that we can just gain from the internet. And last but definitely not least, ODL allows creative teaching. The nature of semi-autonomous and self-directed world of virtual classroom makes innovative and creative approaches to instruction even more important. Lecturers and students can collaborate to create a dynamic learning experience. So ladies and gentlemen, moving on to my third main point, what can students do to make better use of online distance learning despite being at their own place or house and not in campus? As a student myself, I would love to make better use of ODL, being at my own home by having the ability to gain fast resources through the internet. If the lecturers are explaining through Google Meet platform and you have some curiosity about what topic we are discussing about or what topic the class are discussing about, you can just immediately open a new tab on the Google and search for the information. Other than that, ODL would also allow us to be more proficient with technologies as we need to use laptops and handphones every single time class starts, so we can teach ourselves how online class platforms works and how can we share our presentation online and many more. Last but not least, we can make better use of ODL by appreciating the comfortable ambience that we have at home. With all that being acknowledged, ODL would not be uninteresting because we keep on learning new things and get to feel comfortable. And once we are comfortable, we can think positively and get through all the classes. So for my fourth main point, I would love to share with you guys the cons or the disadvantages of online distance learning that I myself have to go through for my first semester of being a university student. So first main disadvantage that I really dislike would be internet connectivity. Living far away from town, my internet connectivity would be really unstable, just like my emotion. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, I have experienced so many times of not being able to receive clear connectivity, so my lecturer's voice would be really unclear and I would immediately accidentally left the class from Google Meet because my internet cannot be connected at all. That is first. Second, a data consuming platform. I believe I won't be the only students who have to go through these obstacles because not everyone have Wi-Fi at home, right? So we have to buy our own data or internet plan, which can cost a lot of money, because Google Meet platform can decrease our data really fast, and we would have to buy another new expensive internet plan. Thirdly, the inability to ask for clear and more refined example of a subject. For example, for graphic design, when it comes to our turn, graphic design, yes, the lecturers would explain really well, but when it comes to our turn to try the software ourselves, we went blank. Yes, like we would definitely be blank. So those are the main obstacles that students like me have to go through during this whole ODL session. For my last main point, I'll be sharing on what can students do to avoid and overcome the obstacles of having to go through online distance learning. First, we as students have to be prepared mentally and emotionally or physically for each of our classes. If we don't understand immediately, ask for examples or explanation. However, if we are afraid to ask directly during the class, we can write down or memorize what we want to ask and then ask lecturer right after the class. Secondly, for students who have problem with data or internet plan, we may look for promotions or offer for internet plan that's specially given to students. For example, Yes 4G data for students and also Maxis package data for students for students. Thirdly, students can do discussion with their own friends and share ideas or opinions, of which can help them to understand more about certain subject. And yes, you can have some fun with your friends too. Last but not least, if you happen to miss class due to unavailability of internet connection, make sure we tell our lecturers about that once we have the connection, and ask for our classmates about what they have studied in class. In a conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, yes, ODL can be really complicated and testing our patience, but we won't be the only one who have to go through this. Lecturers themselves are also having a hard time to cope with the new style of teaching. We should just prepare ourselves and do better as much as we could. Remember the phrase that there is something good and something bad. We should take that as our motivation to go through ODL. Even though we're just at home, at least we can be comfortable, we can have comfortable ambience and get to study calmly. So yeah, even if we study online, at least we get to create creative ways of study which can help for the ODL. We can find solutions for every obstacle that we face. With that being said, in order for us to be able to get back to campus and do physical classes, then we have to fight this COVID-19 together. Follow all the rules, and we can slowly change online distance learning back to physical classes. That is all from me. Thank you and have a great day.
When students are at home learning online, oftentimes they should have opportunities to do experiential learning. What I mean by that is students should be able to do things where they're experiencing and therefore able to learn from those experiences. For
virtual instructor in front of the virtual whiteboard, deliver virtual bullet points. They crushed the drag and drop activities. And after 12 tries, they got perfect on the quiz.